Welcome back to another episode.
I just almost coughed right as we were starting. Damn it.
Jot that down.
Oh my god.
All right, I'll write down the time when you
bloopers.
start.
No. Hey, fuck it. It stays in.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Welcome back to another episode of Late Entry. Late Entry is hosted, as always, by RBF Kyle,
How we doing, everybody?
the now infamous Lutofio from Lutofio's
That's
Picks,
I don't know who that is. Never heard of the guy.
Not Lutopio.
and your boy Double Dose. Tonight we're going to be talking about a college football recap, some betting recaps. Micah Parsons to the Packers. Jackson Dart, will he start this season or not? We have a new topic, our Q of the week, and then finish off with all due disrespect and funny posts. So, the moment we've all been waiting for. Toph, take it away.
First of all, chat, if you're riding me with them college football picks, we all lost money. Hopefully, hopefully you ain't bet your rent money on it, your mortgage, if you did, shame on you. But also, shame on me for some of them bad takes. Pick 'em games. It was looking dicey for a minute there. We almost went 0-3. Thank you to Carson Beck and the Hurricanes. They brought it back. So, Chad, I am now 1-3. Oh, my bad. 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. What am I talking about? So, hopefully next week, we don't really have any crazy pick 'em games. So, next week will be more NFL style. Every week, we'll see how I do. Then, hopefully, we're well above 500. We're off to a bad start right now. The boy is struggling. Now, in the 10 picks that I had, to be fair, I did say if you rolled with all 10, it might get dicey. But I did go 50% on them because it looks like, it's already the fact that North Carolina, Bill Belichick, his debut, did not go as planned. He did not have Tom Brady out there. He could not be saved. But, hey, this is Bill's first game in college. It's a whole different, ball game than the NFL. He's got a lot to learn, but I think he'll be all right. So if you would have picked 5 that I got right, hey, you would have won some money. But all 10, we were burning down. It was like a forest fire. We looked like California.
I'm with that. No, I was riding it. It's everybody has to know. Like you're just throwing a dart at a board blind. When you got 10, when you got a 10-legger, it's crazy. So. Yeah, and to Bill, Bill's just scrambling. I have to think he's just sitting there like, I have to win something without Tom. I have to win something without Tom. And hopefully for his sanity, he can do it,
Man,
I don't know when's last North Carolina's won a natty.
I just
not
got
in my
the ESPN
lifetime
notification. North Carolina gave up 48 points and lost to TCU, the most allowed in a season opener in school history.
Oh, wow.
They were out there looking
Bill,
like
he's supposed to be a defensive mastermind.
They were out there looking like Colorado too. They had all the celebrities. Michael Jordan was there. LT was there. There was a bunch of people there.
Oh man,
I can't imagine getting thwomped like that in front of Jordan. I'd cry.
That's true. Well, Jordan and the Hornets, he was getting smacked every season as well too. So
it's hard to
Jordan not on that court. Yeah,
True.
Just because you got the jump man on your jersey, don't mean you're gonna play like him.
Which one of these Saturday games you want to jump into first, Toph?
Oh man, well we'll start with Michigan. We'll do the quick hitters here. Now, if you don't know, if you learn underneath the rock, I'm not a Michigan fan, but I respect Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm a realistic Ohio State fan. I was actually excited to kind of see what Michigan, does this year. I think last year was an anomaly. They pretty much lost every prominent, important player of their team. So we all know it's going to be like a reload, but I didn't think it was going to look that bad. And even as bad as it was, they still won games with pretty much having no quarterback, all year. You had a kid retire mid-season. You had a quarterback that just didn't even throw for 100 yards one game and still won, which is insane to me. But Bryce Underwood, the Prince, the Michigan King, he actually broke the record Most passing yards by a freshman in their debut. He had 251 yards, 1 touchdown, 41 for 31. He looked the biggest thing for me, but he was calm and poised. He's
Turn
also
that shit up. Turn that
Bryce is
shit up.
That's a true freshman. That's an 18-year-old kid.
Let's
I like
go.
Bryce. He was very close to going to LSU. It was all ready to go. And then whoever the booster of Michigan is, they came in. They got that checkbook open, slapped on the desk. He said, "You know what? I'm staying home. We're going to Michigan."
It's the first time I've ever in my life been grateful for Dave Portnoy.
Right.
There you go. But I think the star of the game was Mr. Justice Haynes, formerly from Alabama, transferred. 16 carries, 159 yards, and 3 tuds. The man ran wild. Michigan get back to what they do. A good quarterback, manage the game, don't lose it. Run the ball, play some defense. That's the recipe for success, whether it's NFL or college. Michigan looked really good, man. Like I said, I'm not a fan, but
And it was New Mexico.
when Michigan's good, it makes college football good. I have to be completely honest.
I agree. Yeah, because you guys are always good. So when we can do it too, it's really good. And you know what? I was thinking about it. Like, it is almost a sickness amongst Michigan fans. You're probably the first Ohio State fan I've ever heard give some respect to the blue and maize, or the maize and blue.
I always do. Can't be hating on the team now.
But no, I think, our rivalry is so good for college football. I think, and as a Michigan fan growing up, my dad was a Michigan fan. I'd see him watching Ohio State every week, right? And I'm like, why are you watching them? We don't like them, blah, blah, blah. But like, you got to appreciate what they're doing over there at the same time. Like, ball recognized ball, like,
yeah.
You just got to get it, So I appreciate that. Obviously, it's going to be chippy, and they're going to be screaming on the sidelines, and there's going to be no love come week 13 in this podcast. But
because
we can say, we respect each other.
I think they played at Ohio State last year, right? So this is in the house this year, right?
Yeah, this is in the big house. Yep.
Oh man, okay, yeah, it's going to be a tough one there. Anybody else got anything to add before we move on to the next team?
Keep pushing.
All right, another quicker. We got Utah and UCLA. Now, it was a couple of podcasts ago. I said Utah, they're going to have a bounce back year. And they started off, backing me up. At least one of my picks went through. They destroyed UCLA 43-10. Also, if you didn't know, former quarterback from Tennessee, Mr. Nico Iamaleava.
Iamaleava.
Yeah, there we go. Look at Spence over here. He stunk it up today, man. He had all that big fuss about him transferring, not liking the language NIL deal, trying to get more money or whatever it is and things like that. If you're going to pull that stunt, be able to, go wherever you want, control your own destiny, that's fine and dandy. But when you step on that field, come on, man, you got to produce. 11 for 22, 136 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And it was just a complete beatdown. They never had a chance, It's a bad look for Mr. Nico, especially if somebody was as highly recruited as he is. Peyton Manning stuck his neck out, wanting him to go to Tennessee. He was supposed to be the savior. Hendon Hooker had them rocking. He passed, gave you the keys. You're supposed to keep it going. And yeah, you made the playoffs last year, but it wasn't really because of you. He had a really good team. Dylan Sampson was running the heck out of that ball for Tennessee. Now he's in Cleveland. Hope he could do his thing. But yeah, I was surprised UCLA looked as bad as they did. Then Devin Dampier. I knew his name, but I wasn't familiar with this game. So I had to do a little bit of, highlights watching before the podcast. He is a dual threat guy. Apparently last year he played at, I believe, New Mexico. Yep, Lily, who Michigan just smacked. He ran the ball for 1,200 yards and 19 touchdowns last year. I knew you could run, but 19 touchdowns is crazy. Also, 1,200 yards rushing. If you didn't know, when you get sacked in college football, that goes towards the rushing yards, so it goes down. So the fact he could have that, that's impressive. He was 21 for 25, 206 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and 87 yards rushing. But shout out to Devin Dampier. You did your thing, man. UCLA, Nico, you're on the clock, man. Got to respond.
Hey, look, that man Nico's got a big target on his back, but Hey,
Mhm.
word to somebody else. We about to talk about. Sometimes you think you got the red dot on somebody else, and it's coming right back at you.
Exactly. All right, moving on. This is a tough one. I believe we're all fans, of this guy. He's a pioneer. He goes beat of his own drum. Colorado, man, this was a tough one. And like I said, in every Colorado game, it's like a movie, man. Win, loss, draw. Well, you can't really draw, but you know what I mean. It's always exciting, man. There's always something going on. Unfortunately, they took a tough L to Georgia Tech, 20-27. This is where we're gonna start diving in here a little bit more in depth. Like I said, I was watching this game like a hawk. Like I said, I wouldn't call myself a Colorado fan, but I am a Deion Sanders fan. Like I said, if I had a son, he wanted to play some college football. That's one coach I'd want you to go to. Not only is he going to put you in the right position to, be the best that you can, but just as a man as well too. Like I said, he's no BS. He's old school. He's funny. He's got the jokes and things like that. But just like the young players that he's gonna raise, he always wants the best for you and things like that. So when you go to Colorado, you may not make it to the league, but he'll definitely set you up for success. After football, and just kind of like teach you just how to be like a true man and things like that. So it's always tough when they take the L. I'm a huge fan of them. To be honest, like I said, I thought even though they got looked really bad, I think they're a lot improved from the past 2 years. Offensive line, they played a lot better. Defensively, they were going good, but Georgia Tech is totally known for running the football. They did have 320 yards today. Hard to defend that. You can't really defend that part in there.
Bro,
But like I said, they were right in there.
I was over this weekend. I was at North Coast Music Festival in Chicago. I'm at the stage listening to music, watching the final two drives of this game. I'm like, oh, we got a chance. We got it because I'm tracking the score the whole time. Finally gets close to it. I turn it on. I'm sitting here, phone up, bro, at the stage during this music. I'm watching. It's all set up for them to kick the field goal for
All set for that 4.5, man. It was looking good. I was right with you. I said I knew I wasn't crazy. Everybody was talking about me.
And old boy just busted straight through to the house, man. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. Look, we can. Hey, they get the ball back. We get the ball back. Hey, we still got a chance. Oh boy, missed him.
All-time blunder.
He missed him. He had the receiver. I don't know the guy's name. The receiver had both those guys beat, bro. He sailed that bitch a little bit too high. I was sick. I was absolutely sick. I thought
worst
for sure
part
it was gonna be it. Go ahead.
was the clock management.
Yeah,
that was an all-time mistake. And Deion, you got to hold that. As a head coach, to have two timeouts with a minute left. You didn't use a single one. You ended the game with the 2 timeouts. I mean, we're talking about Dan Campbell and his 2-point conversions. That's basically that's worse. Have 2 timeouts. Don't use it. That's unacceptable.
You up there looking like Matt Eberflus.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, and then
just letting Caleb run a whole minute off the clock with 1 timeout left.
Yeah, Kalen Salter, even when he ran to pick up, instead of just going straight getting down, he started to go east and west and waste 8 more seconds of the clock. Like you had it, just get there, get down, man. You had 2 timeouts.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. And Caden, he's not a young guy. He played at Liberty. I mean, he had. Talent-wise, he's got an arm. You could see it. He was throwing that thing, on the run. Now, it was not accurate at all, but he had the arm talent. You could see it. I just felt like Caden, coming from a small school, Liberty, going to Colorado, at night, Colorado's got all the celebrities in there. That is a huge environment for any player to play and step in. You're taking the keys from Shedeur Sanders, who, broke every record possible at Colorado. That is huge shoes to fill. I think the moment was just too big for him. That's a lot of pressure on anybody. Like I said, he was, underthrowing, overthrow and just, he was not on target with just throwing the ball on the run, but you could see his talent was there.
Oh yeah,
Like I said, they played it good. Even as bad as they did, they were still right there.
because they were down at half by how much? Do you remember?
I think it was just only by 3 or something. It wasn't by much. Like I said, they had 3 first quarter turnovers in the first quarter alone, and they only got 7 points off of it. The very first one, they fumbled it. He got down there through a hell of a pass on the run. Like I said, they were up 7-0. It was like 10 minutes. I said, okay, this is what I'm talking about. I think I even said in the chat, I can't insult to the truth. Well, I'm going to have to take that back.
Hey, well, let me ask you this, because I was just before we started this, I was watching. Someone had posted some Sam Darnold highlights, some incredible maneuvering in the pocket, and then some crazy throws. And someone was saying that what's you can tell about certain quarterbacks is like some of them have really raw talent, and you can see that it's there, but it's like they make the hard things look easy, but the easy things look hard. Do you feel like that's kind of the situation with this quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, Caden, the guy's 6'1". Like I said, if you watch, I don't know how much of the highlights, but just in terms of like pocket, he was looking like Lamar Jackson out there, shifting, got defenders, doing the stanky leg out there. Like I said, talent, he's got it. He could throw the ball. He's got a live arm. The one that he launched, down the field, overshot it. But like I said, you can see it's there. He's got way more alive arm than Shedeur Sanders. But in terms of accuracy, not even close. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is just, the moment's really big. Everybody knows Colorado, we don't expect them to win a natty, but all eyes are on that team. They want them to fail. They want Deion to, just do god awful. So like I said, that's hard. And plus, we've all known about, just his struggles in the offseason, not really there. That's going to impact the team. So like I said, not having, your head coach do like a normal offseason, things like that, that's going to impact every team. But like I said, I don't know if you guys know, but like I said, he has his own portable bathroom out there. Because he has to go to the bathroom. Every 2 hours he has to go. He actually can't tell when he has to go to the bathroom because, he doesn't have like, a real
bladder, not liver,
right? But so like I said, normally like we would know, it's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He can't tell that ever again. So he has to kind of like, so he has to like every 2 hours, gotta go. Like I said, even through all that, man, he's still out there, Like
and that's a testament to what Toph was talking about too, about like why you'd want to send your son there. It's like all of these reasons. Like Deion is rich, he's successful, he's one of the biggest names in sports ever, and you're going through health issues like that, and you're still, I'm back here week 1, we're coaching, we're trying to win. The testament of determination to be passionate about something and keep pursuing it no matter what roadblocks happen. Toes amputated, no bladder, and we still here. So, I'm with you, Toe.
He hit back to back, the toes, and then right after, because they were doing a follow-up to that. Then they learned about that one. So like I said, he didn't have, like he had a whole year to figure out. It was really right back to back. And this was way worse than the foot one.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't know how you could, whatever you may feel about him, as a man, when he says he do something, he does it, man. Like I said, I'll never have any hate for this guy. He doesn't back down for anything. He's laying it all on the line. Because like I said, this is life or death for him. And, when he took that job, he said, I'm going to do the best I can. Like, I can't hate on that, man. For you guys to, have every bad thing to say about it, I think it's crazy. But, and overall, I think Colorado looked a lot better.
And he had the chance to go to the NFL this offseason. He could potentially be the Dallas Cowboys coach right now. And both of his sons are gone, and he's still there because he said he's going to see this through.
He's also said multiple times that, he can't do the NFL because we've seen guys, get the big paycheck and then just not care anymore. He said it in multiple times, on his own personal YouTube channel. He'll never go to the NFL. That's not for him. He likes the kids and things like that. Paul's not anything crazy like that. Like I said, just, molding, young men and things like that. He says, I can't do the NFL and things like that. I give him his proper respect there, man. It's kind of crazy to say you like kids, but
not Diddy Sanders.
Molding young minds is definitely what you had in the notes.
Yes,
molding
there
young minds is what was in the notes for sure.
Yep, there we go. But now I don't ever see Deion going to the NFL route. That's not him. He's be doing little league football. He's done the high school thing. he's done his time in the NFL. I don't ever see him go into an NFL team.
The only way I'd see him do it is if he got the opportunity to coach one of his sons, and obviously the answer would probably be Shador at this point, right? Because Shiloh just got cut. So
I think he actually got re-signed by the Eagles now.
Did he?
Practice squad. Yeah.
Okay. Good for
I don't know
him.
if he's still there, but I remember he did.
But more than likely, if he was being asked, like if he was being recruited for a reason of you worked well with this, probably the quarterback that he worked with for 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
So, it'd be the Browns or whoever the heck Shador ends up with that would probably end up be knocking at his door. And I think that would be the only thing that might tip the iceberg. But I also, kind of to your point, like he wants to see this thing through. I don't think he'd do that unless he felt like he was leaving Colorado in as good as hands as he could, So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't think it's on his bucket list by any means to end up in the NFL. But I do think people are going to be knocking the more success he has, which he will have it because he is that damn good.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, we'll kind of wrap this part up here. Like I said, they were in the game, through not having, the fallback Shador Sanders, not having, Travis Hunter. They could have won this game. Even with giving up 300 yards rushing, everything that went wrong with the team, they were still right on in there. I do think the team is overall improved as an entire whole. It's almost impossible to replace Shador Sanders, but as a full team, as a whole, they ran the ball really well. They protect their quarterback. I think it's going to take some time for them to kind of, get in the groove. They'll be fine down the road. I can see them winning, 7-8 games. Like I said, it's hard to, replace a quarterback as good as Shador Sanders was and Travis Hunter. But overall, I think they'll do just fine.
Is it red dot? Is it red dot time?
It is.
Yo.
Well, yeah. We can do red dot now.
Okay. So if you haven't heard this quote yet, they asked Arch Manning if they feel like if he feels like they have a target on their back. He said yes, but we also got the red dot aimed at everybody else. Tell us what happened, Toph.
Well, what happened is he went up against the reigning national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I hate that so much.
I had to do it, man. I had to do it.
It sounded way too much like Gus, too.
Listen, I had to get my Gus on right there. Mm-hmm. He caught it. Good ears there, Kyle. Good ears there. Now, these are my two favorite teams in the nation. Little backstory, from Michigan, but Michigan wasn't as good when I got into football. It was Ohio State. I remember watching Troy Smith, Ted Ginn, lighting it up. And I said, you know what? I'm locally Ohio State. This is my team now. Texas, the greatest game of all time. Texas, USC, Reggie Bush, Vince Young. Just watching Vince Young score that game-winning touchdown. I said, you know what? This team is rocking. That's my team there. So that's the backstory. If I became a fan for those two teams, rocked with them ever since. Both these teams, really good. Defensive slugfest, just 14-7. As bad as, Arch Manning did, Steve Sarkisian did him no favors with his play calling. It was very Manila. I think he did his quarterback a disservice by not getting the team in motion. Ohio State has some dogs back there. Caleb Downs, the best defensive player in the nation. If the draft was today, he'd probably be number 1 and number 2 pick. He's everywhere out there. He's, I want to say Ed Reed, doesn't have the ball skills, but that guy is everywhere on the field. He knows exactly what's going on. You couldn't fool that guy. And you're playing in the shoe. That's a very hard place to play. Arch has not played a road game, at all. The 2 games that he started were at home against, not very good teams. So to play against Ohio State, in their stadium, you're ranked number 1. That's hard for anybody to do. I think he'll be just fine. We talk about Caden Slaughter throwing bad passes. Arch looked, it was weird. He was throwing really bad passes. Mechanics off, not drop back, not throwing off the back. Like anything you could think looked like he's never, played quarterback a day in his life. That was the most, interesting part to me. I didn't see that part coming. I had Texas winning this game. Like I said, if a couple of plays here and there, they could have won there.
They just like Colorado. It's another team got the ball back, had a chance to go on there and tie it up, could not get it done.
I think
I
that'll be a
Go
moment
ahead.
Arch learns from at the end of the
Oh yeah.
day. Hopefully, you know. Sorry, go ahead,
What?
Spence.
No, you're good. My whole takeaway from the whole thing is just the fact of like the I don't want to say like just the media, but everybody, you know, fans, the media, everybody has not made this easier on Arch, and neither has his last name. His last name has given him so much to be able to have these opportunities to be here, to rush. What was it, Quinn Ewers out in order to get him up. That's all gotten him here. But we've got people out here calling him a generational talent. We haven't seen anything from him yet. What makes him a generational talent? He started 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, last season against 2 bum ass college teams. You've never played a real team like Ohio State. You know what I mean? Like, let's
Yeah.
pump the brakes on generational and give this kid a chance, a fair chance, to go out and play without the expectations of being his uncles. Because when you do that, then we tune in, we see this, and you see a not good game. And if his last name was different, we'd be like, all right, let's see what this guy's got. But right now,
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, what was that, Arch? And
Yeah.
yeah, it was basically first start against some real competition. But yeah, it did not look good. Did not look good at all. But like we talked about for some of the other teams, it was week 1, so give him some time.
I think Toph said it in pre-show, so I'm not going to take the credit, but he said experience won week 1, and that is the damn truth for this week because every team with experienced skill players and experienced linemen came out on top, and all these young guys that it was their first time under the big lights, and we saw a lot of good matchups this week. They fumbled.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, Arch, he'll be just fine. Like I said, week 1, this is unprecedented to have this many teams in the top 10 go against each other. You're not going to see, in the very first week, 35, 38, just aired out, no defense. These were like NFL battles, defense, slugfest. When everybody says, football comes down to like, just a couple of plays, this was it.
And
Almost every game of the top 10, it came down to a couple of plays that made the difference.
And can I say real fast, I hate that they did that. I understand now that we've expanded the college playoffs, having 1 loss isn't going to kill you like it did before. And I understand they wanted, some big matchups for week 1, like college football's back, like we're here. We're starting to write off with Texas and Ohio State. I would have liked to see that week 3. Let's give these guys a chance to get things rolling, and then let them play.
I get where you're coming from, but they're like it's you wouldn't want to see like I mean the NFL games we got a lot of good matchups in week 1, right? And then
They're
week 2 you
pros.
probably I understand, but these guys are semi-pro now. Like this is different now with the college playoff and with all that. Like it's different now. You want to start it off, see them there. Hopefully this is a foreshadowing, right? That's what I think that college football wants from this is it was 1-3 week 1. Hopefully we see them at whatever rank they end up at the end of the championship, again for that final bookend. Maybe Arch Manning gets a Cinderella story, or maybe Ryan Day gets to solidify himself, so they're going for those storylines now. And you got to be ready by week 1, man. There is no time to get ready for it. You just got to go.
All I'm saying is we saw an absolute fucking snooze fest from these 2 teams until the 4th quarter. Would it have not been better to get Arch Manning 2 starts? They both come in here 3-0 because they're playing cupcakes later down the road. So why see a cupcake matchup? No, that's what I'm saying. Why see a cupcake matchup on week 2? Why not do come in? Each team's 3-0. Arch has got some shit behind him now. Now let's see him battle it out.
I'm the opposite because all these teams outside of Alabama, we'll get to them in a minute, that lost, they shouldn't fall to the top 10. You lost to another team, in the top 10. It's not like you lost to Appalachian State with Michigan. Right. Just a complete shocker. Right. All those teams, like I said, nobody got blown out but Alabama. You are right in there. You're not going to fall down, outside the top 25. They should probably all be in the top 10, maybe the top 12. As someone, trust me, I'm an offensive guy. I like seeing, 50 to 51. I'm not really a defensive slugfest person, but I think all these teams responded really well. You had your test now. Now I would run, if I go out to lose Appalachian State, I'm gonna learn from it. When you're playing those tough games, no cakewalks. You got to play your absolute best every single play. And now that you got your loss out the way, it's not going to impact you as bad as like Notre Dame losing to NIU just out of nowhere and things like this. Even though you took this loss, you still, I went against the best team in the nation. We were almost right there. Like I said, I think if you took the L, that's a good learning. You know what you got to work on. You know your flaws, because nobody's going to expose that as better as a cupcake team, like some of that you probably see in the playoffs. Most of these teams that just lost, they'll probably be in the playoffs or fighting for it. So I get your point. Definitely, you want to kind of, work to the playbook, get experience for a young person. But if he goes out there, has the worst game of his career, it shouldn't get no worse. You can't pull no DJ Ukulele. You should respond every week. So I get it. You could go both ways, but if I'm getting a quarterback, Arch shoes, we gave him, everything. He's the truth. He's the GOAT. He used to be the next greatest quarterback of all time. You saw him at his lowest. He stepped on that podium, said, "This is on me." He didn't, blame anybody else. He said, "I got to play better," and that's what you want from a young guy. So I get it from both sides.
3 things real quick to you guys' point, though. It does set Arch up a little bit more for success doing it this way. If we're fighting for playoff spots, depending on how the season goes, they always say a later loss is worse than an early loss. Arch losing to the number 3 week 1, his first ever road start, it's going to be viewed a lot differently than if it was a midseason loss. So that is a fair point.
Because they always see who you lost to, like, who do they lose to? Like I said, if you got, these people, lose against each other, it makes your loss better. Go ahead.
No, just quick question for you. You can just keep it short. Do you, Toph, believe that Arch is a generational talent?
See, I'm not really one to throw around the generational. We said that about Caleb Williams.
Right.
I didn't see anything generational last year, so I don't like to throw around, generational. We said that about Cooper Flagg. I feel like almost every year we throw that almost every year.
And
Trevor
everyone
Lawrence.
can't be generational.
Yeah,
everyone can't be generational.
No, we can't. So, I mean, who's 100%. A generational player that I could think of? I don't think I can think of one at the top of my head.
Lamar, Johnny Manziel.
Lamar would be a good one for pro league.
Deshaun Watson. No, I'm talking about college.
Oh, college.
Deshaun Watson, Johnny Manziel
too.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence was
I guess I'm thinking about
in college, but that's just the thing is we called him that then, but then they get to the pros and then
I guess what I'm thinking, like I feel like that should translate to the NFL. That's where I have a hard time because like there's a bunch of players that are good enough to play in college, but aren't good enough to play in the NFL. You got Heisman Trophy winners, so then undrafted, 6th round. So I think generational, you should, high school, college, NFL, you're him.
Well, then I would say that the 2 most recent ones I can think of are Lamar and Deshaun Watson. And
I don't know if he really called it general.
Who? Which one?
Lamar was like
Heisman winner Lamar?
I don't know if he called him generational. I've seen almost every
So you're saying you would not argue about Deshaun though?
Deshaun, they did label him generational. Yes,
he was crazy in college, and then
went that's what I'm saying. He was good.
Lamar,
oof.
No.
He had crazy raw talent. Yeah, Lamar had crazy raw talent. But Deshaun, yes, that one I agree with you on that one.
Deshaun was
you would have told me Lamar in college, what he's doing right now. No, I never would have saw that. Nobody saw that because he wouldn't have went late in the first. He would have been the number 1 pick. If we knew what he's doing now, no, there wouldn't have been any trade back up and get it. He would have went 1 or 2. That's where I can't say generational because nobody saw that part.
Shout out Lamar because I used to be a hater when it was early on that he was never going to be a good pocket passer. That dude has busted his behind to be really good at that touch and just like hitting the guy in stride. He's not perfect, but he is night and day difference from when he got in the league now. Hell yeah.
That's fire.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
Lamar and
I could talk about
I remember Lamar's first game, Florida State, he came on, lit them up out of nowhere. I said, who is this dude? Looking like Michael Vick out here. Then he came back next week. I said, oh yeah, this dude is different. Yeah, no, he was every Saturday you had to watch it. Johnny Manziel had to watch it. Cam Newton had to watch it.
I call them generational watches. They're not necessarily generational
Yeah,
talents while they're still at the
like I
college
said,
level, but a
heck,
generational watch.
playoff Lenny,
That's
he was
fair.
really running people over at
Hell
LSU.
yeah,
Couldn't tackle them, man. So yeah, generational.
Um,
That's a hard one.
Joe Burrow that
last
season.
thing on Ohio State before we hit into Bama. Did y'all see that picture of Ryan Day,
Mm-mm.
Mister
What
Nipple
Ryan they
Ring,
do?
Mister Nipple Ring, Ryan Day?
Oh, I did see
Hey,
that.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, man, you can do whatever you want right now. You got the name that you want right now. Hey, Ryan, because I used to be the biggest Ryan Day hater, man. Could never beat Michigan. I was like, man, I would not like him. Not until he won that natty did he win me over. I said, get him out of here. Bring back Urban Meyer. Ryan Day, yeah, he had to go, but
I mean, that is the expectation for coaches on a school like that.
yeah,
Yep.
especially Ohio State, got to beat Michigan. They got to be winning championships. That is a must.
Let's hit Bama before we hit the NFL.
Bama, they're done. They're cooked. The Alabama, as we know it, from 2007 to 2023, the Nick Saban Crimson Tide, roll Tide. They're done. They're cooked, man. Kalen Deboer, gotta go. He's gotta go. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, but he can't coach in the SEC. I don't think he understands a different kind of a beast that SEC is. SEC is like Big Ten. You got the big hog maulers on the line, just straight nasty, running people over. He came from Washington, more of, the Pac-12, finesse, the speed, all of that stuff. Even last year, like somehow you're winning these big games, but you're losing these games you have no business losing. Florida State was 2-10. I didn't realize they were that bad. I knew they were bad, but I thought you won more than 2 games. You were losing to scrubs. And within, that's what I'm saying. Reason why Spence, doesn't always keep those college football because there's so much turnover with the transfer portal and things like that. Their new quarterback was from Boston College. I knew he could run the ball. He was probably the only good thing at Boston College. He sat up there and he said, I'm not afraid of Alabama. He said, Nick Saban can't save you. He said, I was born from this moment. And boy, he showed out, man. He balled out completely. And Florida State just looked nasty, aggressive. They were not afraid. They were at home. But to go from 2-10 to beat Alabama as bad as they did, and just like the tempo they set, hey, man, I got to my hat. That was one hell of a game to watch.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I just think they're having Signetti withdrawals right now because he was on their coaching staff and he has flipped 2 franchises around in the last 4 years, or 2 teams around in the last 4 years. Now he's doing it with Indiana, and he was one of Saban's right hands for a long time. And so I got to be thinking they're just mad at themselves for not getting that hire in place or a hire like that in place. And Deboer, however you say it, is fine. But like you said, this is a different beast when you get to the SEC and you got this going on, and you just lost to freaking Florida State. Shit. Yeah. Chopping block.
People were crazy that I had them covering the spread. I said, nope.
Yeah, I wanna touch on a few things real fast. What's hilarious? So yeah, we had a typo in when we posted your picks, and we had posted it Florida State minus 13.5.
They
So
covered
they had to
it.
win by 14, and that was supposed to be plus 14, and they still covered it. They still won by 14. I laughed so hard when I saw that. Everyone was in the comments like, "That's crazy, that's crazy," and they still covered that.
Like I said, 13.5, 14 points. That is a lot of points, man. Especially in NFL. Like I've been burnt by so many spreads. I'm like, man, they could beat this team by 7. No, like I said, you really got to put in perspective. These are semi-pro professionals. At the end of the day, that's still a lot. Like I said, I knew Florida State was really bad last year. It was the fact that Kalen Deboer, I wasn't confident in him. I knew that the quarterback they had coming to Florida State, and I'm like, it's Florida State, man. If you got DJ Ugalele, yeah, you probably will lose every game. That man might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen. I'm sorry. He did it at Clemson. He did it at Oregon State. Wherever you've been, it's been bad. It's no fluke thing. He's just bad. So when I knew he was there, I said, yep, I see why he went 2-10. But Florida State, man, this team is, historically good. They're always competitive. And, of course, they got a chip on their shoulder. They know that a 2-10 program. And Mr. Tommy, man, hey, man, he's a trooper, man. He laid it all out there on Saturday. And just the confidence for him to say that before the game, yeah, you knew he was on one.
I just
like
want
to I knew that the 13.5, I said, oh, yeah, they could cover that easy. I don't know about when, but they'll cover.
I just want to chime in with 2 facts real quick. So Nick Saban, 235 games, 4 unranked losses. Kalen Deboer, 14 games, 4 unranked losses. He's tied him already.
Yes. Like I said, Nick Saban was a drill sergeant.
Comparison.
Well, yeah, you never want to be the guy.
That happen.
You never want to be the guy that follows the guy. You want to be the guy that follows the guy that follows the guy.
And it's impossible to follow Nick Saban.
The number one trend. So, like, if you like when you search DeBoer after the game, the number one search on Google was what his buyout is.
70 mil.
Holy crap!
That was the number one search.
Yeah. You got to think Alabama. From like I said, he was there from 07, 23. I don't know how many natties he won, but we knew it every year. Oh boy, you gotta play Bama. Oh yeah, you know he was in for a dog fight. Saban would not have let that happen.
Yeah. Do you think that? Last question for you, Toph. Do you think that this is more about DeBoer, or do you think it's more about the college landscape changing?
I think it's a multitude of the two. Because even when Nick Saban, he alluded to it years ago in the past. Like when it comes to recruiting, one of the first things the guy says, "How much money am I gonna get?" That's why he stepped away, because he said, the old way of college football, this new age, it's not what it is. He didn't have the passion for it anymore. Like I said, he lost a couple games here and there, but he didn't lose like that. So I think it's just a multitude. But also the fact that you could transfer. Alabama had guys after guys, everybody you see playing on Sundays, you couldn't transfer.
Was
you
a
had
backup
to sit out a whole year. Yes,
yeah.
The backup to the backup was a dog.
Current NFL stars that were backups at Alabama. Yep.
That's why they were so dominant. Because he could stockpile them. He knew that you couldn't go nowhere. Pause. Yes, when you have,
I didn't even catch
let's
that
go
one.
through it. Henry Ruggs, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, all in your receiver court. Come on now. Yeah. No, I don't know. You got 5 DBs that could guard them man to man? Hell no. You're getting cooked. And that's why they got cooked. Running back, O-line, D-line. Yeah, like I said, just in terms of how the, college football has transformed, they got to get Nick back. I don't see another person that they could bring in that could do what he did.
Nick's going to hit you with that meme. I'm not going to, so quit asking.
But yes, Alabama, yeah, man. I think they go up the top 25. I'm sorry, but that was just bad. And Ryan Williams, he also looked really bad. The amount of drops, he just looked uninterested. I don't know. That was weird to see. If I'm Ryan Williams, I'm out of here.
There's a lot of speculation he's going to transfer.
And you know what? I'll do this really quick. I forgot where I heard this from. I think I was watching a YouTube video. Apparently, him and Jeremiah Smith almost went to Georgia together. They trained together, and they looked at each other. They said, "What if?" They didn't do it, but yeah, if you would have Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith. Oh yeah. Also, I saw Ryan Williams. He played in the slot most of the game. He usually plays outside, which, I mean, the man's frail. He put on weight, but yeah, he didn't look good in the slot. I don't think that's where he needs to be. So Kalen DeBoer, man, you gotta fix it, man, because you got this kid looking crazy. He about died out there.
Mad work to do, man. He's got some mad work to do.
Yeah. That's all I got for Bama there.
Is that all the college games, or is there more?
I'll do quick hitters for these ones. Brian Kelly, He finally won a big game, man. Ryan Kelly was notoriously known for, first of all, losing openers, but he could never beat these top 25 teams. Quick stat here: before last game, Kelly lost 5 of the last 6 against ranked opponents.
Damn.
Yeah, like I said, Notre Dame, he said he left there because he couldn't compete, couldn't get, the recruits, so also went to LSU. And when he was there, still losing the openers. You had all these people losing to USC, and USC, they always choke, as bad as they are. But yeah, Brian Kelly finally getting that monkey, off his shoulder, off his back, whatever you want to call it. It looked good. I think LSU's probably the best team in the SEC right now. I was surprised. Clemson, that was my picks to win the Natty. They still can. They had experienced quarterbacks, so was LSU, but props to Brian Kelly, man. He did his thing out there. I was surprised. Miami beating Notre Dame. Now, I hate Notre Dame with a passion. You talk about Ohio State fan, I should hate Michigan. Nope, I hate Notre Dame the most. So anytime Notre Dame can hold an L, it's a happy day for me. Yeah, shout out Carson Beck, man, formerly from Georgia. They ran him out of there. Lost his girlfriend, went to Miami. Now you live in the bachelor life. But way to get that win there, Carson Beck. Miami looking real good, man.
Yeah.
All right.
He kicked ass on that game. That was baller.
And that wraps up college football. It took us about the whole episode, but hey.
All right, now for some celebration on my end. I never, ever, ever allowed myself to believe that this was possible. I saw the reports. I was like, you know what? It'd be cool, but that shit ain't ever happening. And I almost about passed out at work when I got the notification on my phone. Micah Parsons for 2 firsts and an offensive lineman to the Green Bay Packers. Defensive. No. Kenny Clark's the offensive lineman, is he?
No, he's a nose tackle.
Yeah, he's an inside lineman.
Big 97.
Fake fan.
Exposed.
That's
not even
right.
a real Packers fan.
Not Lutofio's here.
Hey, mistakes.
The Oracle
happen,
is here.
Hey, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. Hey, Kyle gonna call me out like that man didn't fucking say that. What was that? He said James Harden was still on the 76ers.
Oh yeah, it was Paul George. Yeah, I think it was Paul George.
It was Paul George. Yeah.
Playoff Pete.
I said he was still. I called him still on the freaking Clips. I think. I was all messed up on that one.
At least we know that Chauncey Billups isn't the Pistons coach.
Yeah. All right, deflect. Go ahead. All
right, yeah. So yeah, I'm too hyped, dog. I'm absolutely ecstatic. And I gotta be honest with y'all, as a big Lions fan as well, I'm also an objective Lions fan. I'm also okay, Mr. I live in Michigan and I'm a fucking Ohio State fan. Anyways,
I mean, this is in the same division though.
Man, he's got his back against the wall now. After that, he's got his back. Look, he's turning on both of us.
Look,
Thanksgiving, he don't know what to do.
Look, I know exactly what to do. I put fucking 2 bets down on fucking Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. That's what I did. That's what to do. I'm here to tell y'all right now.
Talk about
it. As an objective fan, it is fucking over for you niggas, dog. The NFC North is dead. It's done. The NFC North is done. Micah Parsons is coming, dog. The Packers are coming. No pause.
Yeah, let's go.
No pause. They coming,
pause,
bro.
Pause.
It's over.
Pause,
it's over.
Pause, chat. Pause.
Chicago, I hope you enjoyed your little fucking rebuild over the summer. It's fucking over. The Lions, I hope it was fun the last few years. Over. JJ McCarthy, nigga, you better wrap that fucking knee up, nigga. It's over. The Packers are fucking coming, bro.
Hold on.
The Packers
are wishing
ill
on people now.
I'm not wishing ill. I'm just saying, nigga, I will be concerned about a fucking rookie back there with a bum knee and the fucking greatest pass rusher in the league is coming for your ass.
Hold on.
Okay, all right. I'll pause you on that right there.
Chat. That's all right. He's a fan. We'll let him.
I know he's a little biased.
He could crash out real quick. That's fine.
He says
that last part. He doesn't believe that last part.
That take was so far from objective, but nice.
So far,
He's
from
third,
projected.
but he ain't the best. But keep going.
Look, bro, Packers.
He's like, keep
Packers are
going and then
seeing
dip.
whoever it is that can make it. We'll see the Packers in the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl. Kyle, I know that you came here with the chain on today. What you
Yeah,
got
I
to
knew
say,
I had
man?
to hold it down for the 313 today.
Come out, talk your stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and act like this isn't a big move and like this isn't like slightly intimidating. Like, yeah, he's a great pass rusher. I would call him top 5 in the league easy right now. Obviously he
Wait, top
had
5 pass rusher or top 5 defensive player?
pass
Or
rusher,
both.
pass rusher.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, top 5 pass rusher in the league right now. I mean, obviously coming off that injury, whatever, but I think this is huge on the passing, the pass rush defense, but on the run game defense, giving up a guy like Kenny Clark, like a 10-year veteran, was very weird. Obviously, Dallas doesn't love Mozzie Smith or whoever is in there on the inside, so they thought they could get somebody new to replace that. I don't think this is quite as egregious as the Luka trade. I do think that if the Cowboys had done a little more shopping, they wouldn't have had to give him up to the person that knocked him out of the playoffs the last time they were in there. But here we are. So, yeah, that was a bad move on Jerry, but what's new? So I think Mike is going to be an impact. As far as my Lions are concerned, we going to be all right, man. We run the football down your throat, and I've seen Micah take plenty of plays off on run defense. So I'm fine with us just running it down the Packers' throat on week 1, using
This man
Jahmyr
using
Gibbs
the
and David
same.
Montgomery the whole game,
You're
right
using
up
the
the
same
middle.
cope as Skip Bayless. Micah can't stop the run. Guess what? The Packers didn't stop the fucking run last season against the Eagles anyways. Kenny Clark wasn't saving shit for us. So go send that nigga down to get fucking have to play Saquon 2 times
So
a year.
we'll run it down your throat with the best running back duo in the league, and I can't wait to see it, brother.
I mean, I'm still rooting for the Lions. Don't get me wrong. I just know what's going to happen. Okay. I just know what's going to happen, and I'm just excited to see it.
I don't think you do.
Hey, look. If my fucking 2 best friends get in a fucking fight, one of my best friends is winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fun for you. That's got to be fun for you. I'm glad. I'm happy for you, buddy.
It's great.
I'm real happy for you.
Shit.
Yeah.
Look, a few things. Yes, I know that stopping the run is going to be important. The Eagles are still the big joker in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, once again, though, that was a problem dealing with Saquon last season. It didn't get fixed, but Micah's a hell of a lot better on the defense. Their defense is better now than it was. Also, we talked about this before. The Packers are the only team in the NFC North that did not lose anything, only gain things. They lost no coordinators, not really any impact players. They they got a wide receiver 1, and now they just added a top pass rusher. Bro, it is their shit to lose. It should be them and the Eagles at the end of the day for the NFC North. To talk some more about Jerry real quick and Dallas. Toph, you fucking called Jerry Jones a fucking genius on the last episode. That aged like fucking milk. That aged like milk. Dog, Jerry got in his fucking feelings because he didn't want to negotiate through an agent and allowed the best player on his team to leave. Didn't open it up for anything. Didn't do it before the draft. As bad as Jerry could possibly do it is what he fucking did. They want to come out to the cameras and lie, talking about, at the end of the day, we're better now than we were before. Nah, nigga, you got fucking butthurt, got in your feelings, and fucking broke up with your girlfriend. That's what happened. You got salty and fucking ended the relationship for nothing. That's what happened with that. Dallas, what a crazy year it is to be the last 12 months to be a fan of Dallas sports. You lost Micah Parsons and Luka Doncic and gained Cooper Flagg and Paige Beckers. What a weird fucking place that's got to feel like.
Hey, but Paige Beckers is baller.
The Mavericks still, if everyone's healthy, could compete for a championship. They've got Kyrie, they got Cooper Flagg, they got Anthony Davis, and they got some good centers. The Cowboys are fucked, dog. Pack it up. It's over. Y'all don't even have to show up this year. They're going to probably be the worst team in their division. Their defense is putrid. We've got the Eagles, obviously. Like I said, that's the big joker. You've got The Commanders, I don't think they're taking any steps back. They got their Terry situation worked out. They added Debo. They're going to be all right. We're going to see what happens with the Giants, and we're about to talk about that in a few minutes. The Cowboys, I don't think is in trouble, dog. It might be the beginning of the end of that entire situation. And Jerry had too much of an ego to go ahead and make peace with the best player on his team. So rest in peace, Dallas Cowboys. Packers to the motherfucking moon.
Hey, if it's anything like your basketball predictions, then I'll just ride the opposite. That's fine.
All right. This man's salty. Look at that face.
Well, you don't like a little comeback? You don't like a little comeback?
Nah, your face.
You don't like a little come on your back?
Hey, yo, whoa.
I'm sorry.
Still there.
Twitch there. Sorry. No, man. I think this is huge. I think this is awesome for the Packers. That's why I had to come up here and just rep all my Lions gear, because I had to stand on business and just say that they might give us a run. I definitely, we had our way too early predictions. I think I had the Packers third in that and Vikings second for some reason, but I definitely would not put it past the Packers, especially with the Lions' schedule this season, to potentially take that. But I'm riding with Dan Campbell, man. I think he's got this team right where he wants it, and I just can't wait for week 1 so you can eat these words and we can replay them, and I'll just sit here and smile.
Week 1? See me at the end of the season. Let's talk end of season rankings.
Well, let's do that too. I can't wait for Aiden Hutchinson to beat him for Defensive Player of the Year.
That's insanity.
That's not,
all right.
Actually.
Okay, so let's do this right here, right? Let's say
sure.
Let's say that this bet can be voided by either team having obscene amounts of injuries. Because no,
that's fair.
Bro, the Lions had 22.
That's fair.
The Lions had 22 players hurt last season. That's crazy. Let's say
I remember what my coach used to say: "Next man up." But okay,
22 players, Toph. That's
next man
both
up.
sides of the fucking ball, Toph.
Next man up.
And I was hyped.
It's true.
You know what? I don't want to bet against the Lions, so let me not do this. But
there you go.
Because I don't want to be rooting against the Lions for the sake of money, but if the Packers come out here and win the division, I want us all to remember this conversation that we had on September 2nd at 12:34 at night. That Spence told y'all it was fucking over.
I can't wait. We'll replay it on the pod. That day we'll have a podception going on.
Toph, you are the objective fan who does not give a fuck about the NFC North. Your thoughts?
All right. So yeah, as the only non-homer here, let me hit y'all with the non-bias. I'm gonna break everything down, team by team, how I think about the trade, everything. Also, just really quick pick. After this trade, I do think the Packers will win the division. Anyway, that's before he went on his rant right there. But yeah, so after this trade, I said, okay, I already liked them to begin with. That put them over the edge to me.
It's
mainly because the Lions, I've said it almost every podcast, it's the coordinators that scare me.
Thank you.
That's the main thing. I think, like I said, they'll be 1-2, but since they still got their people, only thing I saw was additions. That's my pick. No disrespect to the Lions. Okay. Let me let's do the Jerry Jones part here first, because this kind of ties with the Micah Parsons thing. Maybe call him a mad scientist, mad genius, whatever you want to call him. The man knows how to make money, knows how to market his team. He's a genius for that point. Now, as far as being, the GM, the CEO, the owner, you might want to give that to somebody else right there. I also don't hate the Micah Parsons trade. I'm gonna give you this fact right there. They had him. They ain't sniff NFC Championship. They weren't winning no way. Now that he's gone, addition by subtraction, you weren't winning with him. You ain't going, shouldn't fall off without him. You got two first round picks. They'll probably be, mid 25s, late 25s. unless everybody just dies on the Packers. And those would be low picks in there. But, you're already in salary cap hell. He wasn't winning your games. You got a bunch of vets now. Dante Guat Fowler. I like me some Dante Fowler. Former Eagle. Kenneth Murray. You re-signed your whole secondary. So if you want to, be your identity for your defense as have a strong secondary, let the veterans, Kenny Clark, get you the pass rush. I think that's always been, the specialty. But like I said, I think Micah Parsons is a top 3 pass rusher. I'm not saying that he's not bad, but they weren't winning with him. And Jerry was right about that point. So even though now that he's gone, the Cowboys have always drafted really well. That's the one thing that they do. I don't know if that's Jerry Jones. I guess it is because he says he makes all decisions. He at least drafts well. So if you give that man too much draft picks to Kenny Clark, history shows your draft picks always work out. So I have no point to say that it won't. But my point is, with them, you weren't winning. So now that he's not there, shouldn't really make too much of an impact. He would always get hurt. I think he does play his heart out, but he probably, shouldn't play. But I think the man's a football junkie. Even if he's hurt, he still lays it out on the line. I respect that for him. But the Cowboys, they wasn't going to win nothing no way, even with him.
I think he only missed 4 games from injury. I don't think it was.
I mean, like years and years. He always says, Peck or something's like, how do you be getting these knick-knack injuries, year after year? So I do get it for that standpoint.
Probably from running through a motherfucker's face. Word to Marshawn Lynch.
Getting ran over. Because that man don't play no run defense. They are right about that. That's a fact.
Is he a pass rusher or a run rusher?
Yeah, no, he's a pass rusher.
Okay.
He plays, third and long. I don't know if I really want him on first down. But now that he's with, the Packers, his job, get after the passer, get after the quarterback. He could do that part. But that's my biggest thing is he's right. They weren't winning with him. So now you save yourself some money. I don't know who's up next for the Cowboys. They just paid everybody, I think. Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith and Tyler. Yeah. He's got linemen, so yeah, them boys is expensive, so he doesn't need the money for that.
The Cowboys now have the second most cap space after the Patriots.
Patriots don't pay nobody. But, that's a good point. I was just going to say, the Patriots were doing that for the longest. Whenever someone's coming up, get it paid, they'll just get rid of them. And somehow, they build that place. No.
This is the other thing, too. I'm glad that you said that. This is the other reason that Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot. Good teams pay good players early so that the shit doesn't go up.
You just said it. Good team. They're not a good team.
Smart GMs. You could have paid Micah earlier, and this wouldn't have happened. Why would you let Myles Garrett get that deal done first?
That part, you're right. But like I said, the Cowboys, man, they're cursed.
He did it with, because of fucking Jerry. He did it with CD. He did it with Dak. What do you mean? We want to wait and see.
You would have paid him. Not having to pay for the O-line, you're still losing. Get the young players.
You pay them at a lower price. You know how the housing market crashed in 2008 because of balloon payments? You did all this fucking small shit here and just kept waiting for the fucking big shit to fall down. That's the same shit with the Cowboys. They don't pay anyone early. They don't come to you and say, hey, we know this nigga going to be a stud. Let's wrap him up with an extension now. They see it as good faith because we did it 2 years before your contract's up. No, we're going to make you play the contract out, and now we got to pay you the most money you could possibly get fucking paid. And now our fucking cap is all tied up with 3 fucking players. We can't play our best player, so now that nigga is playing with the team that just knocked us out of the playoffs. Great fucking move, Jerry Jones.
Chat, stay with me here now. Now, what I'm about to say, I mean this with all due respect.
Oh, my God.
Until JJ can't walk, can't do nothing no more, I don't care who they pay. It don't matter. You're still going to lose. So until that man is not part of the team, then I'll take this team serious. So, Micah.
The man you just called a genius last episode.
If I had to build a new team, yes, I want that man as my owner because he's going to make us money. We'll be relevant. We might not win no games, but we're going to be making some money. So yes, he's a
you're
genius
right
for
about
that standpoint.
He knows how to get clicks.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what you
'Cause
want.
we're
Like I
here
said,
talking about him for the umpteenth time, and I hate this
since
team.
I've been alive, the Cowboys ain't never done nothing.
No,
Nope,
I
it's the-
mean,
So
Hey,
I don't care who you sign. It don't matter. You're not
he's in
They
the
winning.
died with
business
Troy
of doing
Aikman.
business. He's not in the business
Yeah.
of winning.
That's what I said. So you might as well get rid of Micah. You won't go win with him. You're not going to win without it. So
He's just going to cost you money.
nah,
so,
yes, I get
yeah.
it. Trading someone that could probably going to be a future Hall of Famer is crazy, but it's the Cowboys.
I
Just
don't
save your money.
understand if you're going to trade Micah, why not just blow the whole bitch up? Trade Dak. Why get George Pickens?
I mean,
Trade
you can still
CD?
compete.
What's the point?
You gotta
picks.
you got to get butts and seats, and you got to have
Yeah, I mean,
divisional
get
fans,
picks.
which they
He got
have.
draft capital back.
2 late first round.
I mean, to get 2 first-round
Late.
picks is pretty good. I mean,
late.
picks are picks.
And of course, the Packers
Picks
are
are
thinking those
picks.
are both going to be 32s.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, it's going to be mid unless, a bunch of injuries happen. And unless, Jordan Love tears his ACL. It's
Man,
probably
don't be
going to
wishing
be
that
mid
upon
20.
people.
Hey, I'm
No, okay.
Hey,
keeping it real.
Hey,
I'm
knock on
keeping
wood.
it
You
real.
called Spencer on that earlier. No,
Hey,
he
health for
already gets
everybody.
hurt as it is. So, he's going to have his injuries. Not wishing on a big one for him, but.
Here's one more thing that I want to say about the Packers before we move on from this. I forgot who it was that I heard say this before. I don't know if it was Dan Orlovsky or somebody else. It was an excellent point. Jordan Love is a fucking gunslinger. Some of the issues that they've had in the past has been his, little Tony Romo-esque type of play. Here's the thing, though. He can get it done. Now, whoever it was that I heard say this was saying, if I was Matt LaFleur, I would tell Jordan Love to go out there and just fucking let that bitch sing, bro. Spray the fucking chopper everywhere. Because if you turn it over, hey, Micah, go get us the ball back.
That's crazy.
It's not.
That's why you're not a coach in the league.
It wasn't my idea.
You need to tell that man to take care of the damn football.
I agree with that. Air it out.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he will.
For once,
you
I
don't
agree
gotta
with
tell
him.
him to. He will.
Air it out.
It's like my
that's
boy
his
Ryan
game.
Butterworth. I played basketball with growing up. I'd pass him the ball and I'd tell him to shoot. And I remember my coach would say, "You don't have to tell him. He's gonna shoot. He will never not he'll shoot even when the defender he's got double team. Like you don't gotta tell him to shoot. He'll shoot."
Hey, look, I'm just saying.
That's who Jordan Love is. You can't tell a quarterback to not play his game.
And now we just have somebody if it goes bad, go out there and get that bitch back.
It worked for Brett Favre. He threw that thing around. He got them a bowl.
He loved throwing that thing around. Yeah.
I don't like the inflection that you said that in. He loved throwing that thing around.
He loved throwing that thing around. Well, he loved throwing that paycheck around too for his allegedly for his daughter's volleyball team.
We are a little wow. Oh my god. We are a little over time right now. So let's save the Jackson Dart debate for our Wednesday live episode. We'll also drop out funny posts, but let's do the question of the week, and I'll do disrespect and wrap up with that. All right, Kyle.
Right. Cue of the week. We got I got one on deck just in case this one is too easy for all of us. I don't know if we're all gonna have the same answer. And so, anyways, I'll get into the first one. Would you rather have a photographic memory or be able to forget any unwanted memory?
That's super easy. The second one is hardly helping. You can do that with drugs and alcohol. Photographic memory, dog. That's the sky's the limit.
Yeah, but if you keep drinking and drugging, then you're gonna lose your photographic memory.
I think the second one makes sense.
It does.
I'm
it
definitely
does in
taking
some
one,
ways.
but yeah, I'm not gonna shun it.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I kind of felt like this one might be a layup. So I agree. I was totally on the photogenic.
If you were a DB, you might want to pick number 2.
Yeah, right.
Forget about it. Next play. Yeah, I can
right.
definitely see it. I can definitely see benefits of number 2.
There's almost nothing you can't accomplish with a photographic memory. Almost
I
nothing.
feel like we need someone that has one to kind of
to really. I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure their test scoring would say different, but past getting out of school, I don't know what like life skills that necessarily offers you all the time, but you gotta
having a photographic memory.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can apply it to damn near anything. You could be great at any non-physical job with that.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree. I know.
Like you can.
I'm not saying it's not a benefit.
If you have a photographic memory, as long as you study, you can remember everything you've ever seen before. You could win
Agreed.
Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You could be a doctor, a lawyer, a financial accountant. You could be a professor. Shit, if you have a photographic memory, if you spend enough time in the gym, you could perfect a jumper because you know exactly where you got to release at and where to aim at to make that three go in every single time.
I don't know if it's quite like that, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Because if so, we'd see a lot of people with photographic memories.
I don't think there's
putting
that many
up
people with
Steph
them.
Curry numbers, but yeah,
I don't think there's that many people with them.
I mean, you gotta have some good genes as well too to go with it.
It just wouldn't change your processing speed. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to help you play quarterback any better. You still got to make your reads. But as far as like anything academic, right on through.
No, I hear you. All right, so I guess I'll jump to the next one. If your sheets had to be made of a deli meat, what meat would you pick?
Sheets made from a deli meat?
Your sheets on your bed had to be made from a deli meat. I should have led with this one, damn.
I can tell you one thing. It's something I have never thought about here, Chad.
Same.
To me for real.
Let us know in the comments. What are you choosing? Personally, I'll go first.
Is there a
I'm
right
going
answer
that
to this
turkey.
question?
I'm going that deli turkey. That deli turkey is just feels so like inviting. I don't know.
I mean, what are all the options?
Turkey.
You've got turkey.
You got deli turkey.
Ham,
you got honey ham, salami, bologna.
Give me a boar's head salami.
You trying to get listeria? You trying to get listeria?
He's about to get greasy everywhere.
No,
boar's head salami.
Boar's Head has like a listeria outbreak. They've been dealing with that for like a year.
Oh wait, for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, that's all right. I'm still eating it.
They went to.
He's like, I'm eating it. I'll sleep in it.
They had to like clean all of like their facilities out, and then came by like months later to retest them. Still have.
I don't care about none of that. Kirk Cousins said the best. If I die, I die. That's how I live my life.
If I had to have my sheets made of any deli meat, I would probably go with turkey because it's the lightest.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I want to hear the sick fuck who's picking pastrami.
That's some heavy stuff.
Turkey, like salami and bologna, like they. Even if we're just talking like fresh sheets, so to speak, like bologna and salami, they don't smell the greatest to start. Like at least like turkey and ham, like they kind of smell decent to start. Turkey smells better, but
hey, look, if I was doing like a comforter though for my bed, that's gonna be bologna.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's true. That's
what I was thinking. I'm like, nah, you want that to be soft.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you get hungry, you just eat the salami. So there you go.
Hey,
there you go.
Over here.
Yeah. That's not what I was thinking. I don't like sheets anyway. So
my meat palace, my meat bed.
Oh, Paul.
Hey, baby, you want to see my meat palace? That feels like some Elvis shit.
Oh, I thought you were going
like
baby,
Johnny
come
Bravo.
On over.
Mama's making
I was thinking
me a
Johnny
meat
Bravo
palace.
too.
I was thinking Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Chad, if you know, you know.
Hey, look, you've heard of meat curtains before. Now the carpets match the drapes.
Oh, so y'all should be going with like something more, a little dark meat. Like you guys, it should be a little different, right?
Wow.
That Black Forest ham.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, you're
Absolute
a sick fuck for thinking of this.
I know.
Your mind is about as sick as the people who made Saw.
I know. I altered that from a different question, and I was like, wait, this is perfect.
Oh my god. All right. Toph, you're all due disrespect.
All due disrespect. How do I want to do this? You know, I'm just gonna give it to Kalen Deboer. You know, I know we already lit into him as much, but you know, after what I saw, just ad nauseum, you know, everybody's YouTube channel, yeah, it's got to be him. I'm sorry. Next, you know, I'm not sorry, Kalen Deboer.
No,
Hold
don't
that
be
out, man.
sorry. He fucked up.
Kyle?
All due disrespect. I guess to me, I got into it with the Swifties this week unintentionally.
Oof. Yeah, don't do
I
that.
ended up being that guy. So Lori Burke Music, shout out, said after Travis and Taylor got engaged, of course, and that announcement happened, I came across a short where Travis was talking about something completely unrelated from all that. It was actually something that came out before their engagement, right? So like he and Jason are just like talking football in this clip. And I'm like, oh, let me like, you know, go to the comment sections like any normal Gen Zer or millennial would do. And the top comment that already like after like an hour and a half of being posted had like 700 likes was like, Trav, we got to talk about it in all caps. And then an engagement ring emoji, right? And so I was just like so fed up with the Swifties in this moment that I became the guy that like wrote a paragraph. So that's why I'm giving
No.
the all due disrespect to me here a little bit, because like I said, or we could let him enjoy it for a second and do what he wants with this milestone and talk about it when they want to, like anyone in this position or anyone in his or Taylor's position should have the right to do, which I
Can I
felt
ask you
like
a
was like,
question?
go ahead.
Before you tell me the
Are
inevitable.
you going to ask me if I've seen the movie Candace?
No.
All right.
What were you hoping to accomplish by saying that?
Nothing. This is what I'm telling you, Spence. The all due disrespect is me. I'm the person that interacted with Swifties. I'm the person that gave in. I'm the person that typed the paragraph that I wasn't supposed to freaking type. And I hate that MFer on the internet that is just like, how about we do this actually? Like, you know, like I hate that point, Dexter. So like, and I became him in that moment because I was so fed up with her fans living vicariously through her to the maximum extent. They are Dylan Raiola-ing her Patrick Mahomes. They are just like, these fans are crazed. And I mean, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. I like her music. Like, and I don't think she's like the most talented artist in the world, but I think her music's good. Like, I enjoy it. So like, it just drives me insane that these people are that obsessed with her. So then I get comments like, oh, all right, buzz killer, all this stuff. So whatever, all due disrespect to me, I guess, because I just wanted like some celebrities to have some privacy. That's all. And I was just sick of the Swifties in one swoop, and I just couldn't hold it in. I had to just put that shit on the web. So now Kyle at Kyle Eats Waffles, follow my personal, is forever gonna have a comment out there just right against the Swifties, and I regret the shit out of it.
This motherfucker is like, remember Dylan Brooks back when he was with the Rockets? I poke bears. For my next trick, I'm gonna take on the Barbs.
I wasn't, I got ate up, bro. I got ate up.
I'm sure.
Shout out Dylan Brooks.
There's two fan bases you don't fuck with on the internet. That's the Swifties and the Barbs, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even I would have done that one.
It was fun though. I had a good time watching those comments come in.
Hey, props to you for taking that battle, but yeah, I would have kept my head down.
I mean,
on that
the
one.
White flag was being waved within 10 minutes.
No smoke.
It was over.
Did you delete it?
Hell no! I stood on business.
Could not fight back.
I didn't make
So
any
there you
more
go.
comments. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I respect that.
I just let that one sit there.
Let's go in the archives. Oh my god.
He said, "Y'all got it. Y'all got it."
Yeah, y'all cook, y'all cook.
There, you got in the ring though.
Yeah, I did. I stepped in there. I took a
Y'all
lot
got
of
in the
punches.
ring.
I was like Ben Askren versus Masvidal. I don't know if y'all watch UFC, but he got knocked out in about 4 seconds.
Oh, not Ben Askren.
Oh god. All right. All due disrespect. Jerry Jones, Toph, everybody in the NFC North. I'm just playing.
Bro, stop.
I'm just
I'm just
I'm
all right, I'm driving to Chicago. I'll see you guys.
No, my all due disrespect is did you guys see that story about they were at the US Open and some player had tossed like a hat at a kid and this motherfucking grown adult yanked that motherfucking hat from the kid? Bro.
What?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
well.
Yes. So what's
I
crazy?
feel
So
like
this
I did see this.
this is a story in 3 parts. That's part 1, which is just the most absurd shit ever. Like, what kind of heart do you have to take some shit from a kid? That's part 1. Part 2, they identified the
fanatic.
person as his name is Piotr Szczesek. He is a millionaire CEO of a paving company in Poland. So they found him out. They've been review bombing him. The player wound up getting like the kid like a autograph hat in the end, and then all the local fans are review bombing the business. So then that's part number 2. Part number 3 is the most egregious shit ever. So the fucking guy who did this, the millionaire CEO, he came out and defended himself by saying this: the recent incident at the tennis match has caused a disproportionate online uproar. It's all about the famous hat, of course. Yes, I took it. Yes, I did it quickly. But as I've always claimed, life is first come, first serve. I understand that some people might not like it, but please, let's not make a global scandal out of the hat. It's just a hat. If you were faster, you would have it. Regarding online hate, I remind you that insulting a public figure is subject to legal liability. All offensive comments, slander, and insinuations will be analyzed for the possibility of taking the matter to court. In the end, chin up, hats off, less venom, more sportsmanship. All right, Mr. Piotr, maybe over in fucking Poland, you can't criticize motherfuckers without lawsuits, but we live in motherfucking America. We got freedom of speech, and you're a bitch ass nigga, dog. What kind of fucking person does some shit like that? You gonna fucking snatch a hat from a kid. You gonna come out and tell the fucking kid, nigga should have been faster than that. You're a fucking adult.
That's crazy.
And then when people clap back at you for doing some low down, grimy shit like that, you fucking small piece of shit, you gonna threaten to sue niggas for calling you out? You gonna threaten to sue them? Old Drake ass nigga, bro. Take these niggas to court. And then the end of your quote, more sportsmanship. More sportsmanship. You robbed a kid. When people say it's like taking candy from a toddler, they don't mean you should do it. What the fuck?
Bro, I just watched the clip. That is exactly what he did. Homie was handing the hat right to the kid, and he was just like, "Can I have?" Shoop! Like just snagged, bro. And then he shoved it in his girl's cooler, like it didn't even happen.
My hat, nah.
That is messed up, bro. Let the kid have his
bitch ass
moment.
Nigga you have to be to steal from a kid and then tell the kid that sorry, nigga, you should have been faster. And then cry when people complain about it and threaten to sue them.
That's some Jerry Jones shit right there.
The only other person I can think of that does some bitch ass shit like that is Drake.
Welcome to the Big 2-5.
Drake, yeah.
This nigga said, if you talk bad about me, I'm suing you for stealing from a kid. Yo, fuck ass out of here. Oh my god. I had to get that off my chest.
That's insane that even happened.
Yeah. But Guess the little kid should have been faster.
I'm not surprised.
Hey, I'm
I
imagining.
guess.
Hey, I'm imagining. You know when in basketball when you fucking like dunk on somebody, you hit them with the fucking too small. Hit the fucking kid with that.
Too small.
Oh my
A
god.
headset now.
Yeah, it's like you're in first grade at the playground. You get rejected by the sixth grader, and you're like, shit, I am that small.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this this episode, this journey. We will see you guys Wednesday, 10 o'clock for the live episode. YouTube and
Hell
Twitch. Anybody got anything else?
Peace.
Peace.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Long.